In the 1930s, B.F. Skinner made a box that gave pigeons food when they hit a button. He found that the best way to get pigeons or people to keep hitting a button is to not reward them every time, but to do it in fixed or variable intervals. Because as much as I like chocolate, if you give me a piece every time I hit a button, I'm going to get a bellyache and stop pushing it fairly quickly. So what does this have to do with video games? Most RPGs and Facebook games use Skinner box logic to get us to play these games. When you play games like World of Warcraft, you find yourself doing quests that require you to kill rats or tunneling worms until you find the proper number of items that they are inclined to drop. The trick is that every kill doesn't get you the required item, so you have to kill an undisclosed number of these animals to complete the quest.
There are different strategies that gaming companies can use when applying Skinner box logic to their games. There are fixed ratios, where there is a long pause in the action and then a steady burst of activity until a reward is given. Variable ratios occur when the number of things needed to reach the next level is unknown. Fixed intervals relate to time, not necessarily the number of things gained, so you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can move on to the next level. And variable intervals means that you don't know how much time has to pass before you can move on.
When playing games like WoW, you can find that the newness wears off quite quickly when you have to kill this undisclosed number of rats. But one of the things that keeps us going is indeed the Skinner box logic. We don't know at which point we'll be rewarded for our actions, so we continue to kill tunneling worms and rats and turn in quests until we get something that's good enough to keep us satisfied.
Recently, creators of games that go on places like Facebook have come under fire for supposedly manipulating their users. There's even stories about parents neglecting their children because they have to spend so much time clicking these different games. Some claim that game developers are tricking users into repetitive action by the illusion that each click brings something new. Some people claim this is a problem because you're exploiting your users. Others say that you are wasting your life trying to get items that have no value. However, whether they're value in the real world or in the virtual world, a lot of the things that people search for in games like WoW really do have value, monetary and otherwise. However, there's also something to having to chase items for hours and hours that have nothing to do with the game's objectives.
So, ultimately, we find ourselves the willing victims of game developers and Skinner box logic. We pay one-time or monthly fees to click trolls, orcs, or crops, even once it ceases to be fun. All in the name of entertainment.